Peace.
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 My name is Black God of Law. It's truly a pleasure to be here in North Carolina to see so much youngness, to see a large world being manifested. Not only the large world being manifested, but a large world is manifested. A large world was manifested from the year 1 until now. I've been around since 1967, and I've witnessed the growth and development of the nation. From Now Cee to all over the country and to different parts of the world. I myself have traveled the whole country. I was blessed to do that. How I did it? Through game. That's how I did it myself. Alright? I don't advocate game in this day and time, but that's in my history. So I'm qualified in that manner too, as far as making money and whatnot. You know, it enabled me to see a lot of things. But the greatest thing that I ever seen in my life was the Father. That was my blessing. To see the Father. I saw the Father April 21st, 1968. I already had knowledge of self for a year when I met the Father. See, I learned in jail. The brother that gave me my lessons was knowledge of law. The brother that wrote the national anthem. The brother that wrote the national anthem, the Enlightenment. Within the Enlightenment, you see what mathematics is. I don't have to go down, come out and tell you what mathematics is. You see that for yourself. Also, the supreme alphabet. You see that for yourself. You yourself have to learn to make the mathematics walk and talk. You yourself have to give the mathematics life. I like to do it this way. One is knowledge. Today is knowledge power. I am the knowledge, that knowledge the power of an arm, a leg, an arm, a head. Walking and talking. I've seen that. Also, I need to say that when the Father was taken back into the essence, I was on Rikers Island. So I never learned what really went down. But I know through intelligence that it was a diabolical plan to stop Allah's idea from being manifested. But the idea could not be stopped. The idea could not be stopped. This is why we are here now. This is why there's so many children with righteous names. Even children that don't have the names to go along with the knowledge that they're supposed to have, such as the meaning of the name. 85% have given their children righteous names. That comes from the gods. Also within the music, that comes from the gods. The message in the music. First message in the music came from us speaking mathematics with such a rhythm and such a timing so as to hypnotize people. Yes, we would throw down on wisdom and non-equality. We would smoke herb. The wisdom and non-equality was called the nectar of the gods. This is how I come up. The smoking reefer was the what? Referred to the mind. But the Father had told us certain things such as leave dope alone, because dope was the dopes. Why did the law permit us to deal with drinking of the wine and smoking of the herb? Why did He allow us to do it? He didn't advocate for us to do this, but it was permissible for us to do it. It was not taken from us. Allah was supremely intelligent. He would not take everything from us. Otherwise, He would run us away from what? Him. So these things, He showed us that we would deal with it up to what? Its fullest what? Equality. And then it would distill back. Now I don't get high no more. But I have a drug law of 32 years getting high. Thing that brought me to my knees was not here when the Father was here. What's known as C ruler law, C king. Crack. That brought me to my knees. That caused me to go into recovery. That caused me to stop drinking. That caused me to stop smoking. I haven't been high now for about 16 years. That's knowledge equality. My last drink, my last drug was August 9th, 1994. I need to say that I've been to every parliament in Mecca except for one in the amount of time that I've been clear. I go to the parliament, but I do the knowledge. I'm a knowledge seeker. I see who's who and what's what. I don't agree with everything that goes on within the nation. But I know I was called down here for a purpose. This is Allah's world manifest. Allah said, if you want to see me, all you have to do is come to what? Together. Huh? So, trumpet was blown, I heard the final call, and I came. I'm here. All right? I'm here as a giver and also here as a taker. Because Allah is not only the giver of life, but Allah is the taker of life. Now the giver of life is manifested, but the taker of life comes as a thief in the night. That's just to show you how real that mathematics is. Our mathematics say build or destroy. When I met Allah, Allah gave me how to build on mathematics as far as a year. He put knowledge born over equality built. He said born and build is what? I said knowledge God. He said knowledge and equality is what? I said God. And he said and knowledge? And I said build. He said, well, that's what you got to do. So right then and there, the Father gave me a job to do. My job is to what? Build God. Not so much as just to bring God into knowledge of self, but to build amongst God. Positive education always correct error. I was gifted in the sense that I had a formal education. I knew how to read and write. You understand? I just never completed college. All right? I'm one that didn't do everything that Allah told us to do. Such as Allah said not to get married under the government. What did I do? I got married under the government. What am I going through? I'm going through hell for that. Nowadays, all right? A lot of things that you learn is not so much of just what to do, but what just as important as what to do is what not to do. A lot of times you can see brothers coming in the name of God. They don't look too good. But you've got a lesson that say, where are the 5%? What do the 5% look like? These are lessons that Allah gave also. Put them in my hands. That's to say that Allah gave more than just 120 degrees. Huh? Allah did make 120 degrees our national teachers, but He gave more than 120 degrees. As early as 1968. I had to see that we went to see Allah, but to see Allah we came from Rockaway to Mecca. This is when Allah put the lessons in my hand. He said, I bet you these earths in here know their lesson better than y'all God. Huh? That's for brothers that will not teach the sisters 120 degrees. But Allah had given the sisters 120 degrees too. So who am I to do different? What I'm saying is Allah left us a blueprint. When you see gods that know Allah, and been amongst Allah, it's up to you to ask those gods questions. What was the Father like? What was the Father like? He didn't tell me the same thing that He told Divine. He didn't tell Divine the same thing that He told Arif. He didn't tell Nala the same thing that He told me. He told us all something. It depends upon what He was going and manifesting at that time. Allah just gave the proper order of mathematics. The one to 36 came before the one to 40. For instance, it was called a shot of life. It was called a shot of life. It gave us history. But you had to go through all that before you got ready for the what? Meat. You give a baby milk before you give a baby what? Meat. You prepare the baby's digestive system. Huh? So there was guards that got the 1 to 40 before the 1 to 10. Where are they now? You understand? Because it wasn't given in the proper order of mathematics. I got 9 planets before I got actual facts. I had to go through all the degrees in order to get to the actual facts. The actual facts is that which could be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. But you got to swim 9,000 miles back home. I can't swim a lick. How did I get back home? Huh? Huh?
Self-wisdom is unmastered.
What that mean, bro?
That's how you swim.
No, I mean, what does that mean, though?
Well, an alphabet is swim is self-wisdom, mastery.
Is that the way that you would teach a baby?
No,
Because, again, going back to Allah made the truth so plain that a baby could understand. You know what the Lord did when I first met him? When he walked into the school? He said, looked at me. He said, you want some of this chicken, son? You want some of this chicken? I said, no, Lord, I don't want some. He asked me again, you want some of this chicken? I said, no, Lord, I don't want some. The sister come out and said, I want some, Lord, I want some. She got my chicken. I didn't get no chicken. But I said, no. Huh? But I'm a knowledge seed. I'm checking out a law. You understand? This is what happened. I witnessed that it happened because it happened to me. I'm the best knower. You know? My first parliament, April 28th, 1968. That was my first universal parliament on top of the mountain. I had to go to Mount Morris Park, as they now call it Marcus Garvey Park. It looked like it was on top of a volcano. The volcano was erupted. You understand? You could look down and see the city. It only represented that we elevated above the people's heads because we were coming together amongst ourselves. It was set for us to come together, what? 12 times a year. Now 12 in the alphabet is love, have, or right. Why is it necessary for us to come together 12 times a year? It's 365 and a quarter days in the year. Why 12? Why 12? See, the father number was 13. Huh? Well, why we come together 12 times a year? 30 days in the month. And renew our history every 25th day. We used to go on a fast for 3 days in the month. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? When we had to go through some shit to get our lessons. But no instant coffee guards. Stir it up. Instantly, one day you 85% happy that phone, and the next day you gone. No, we had to go through shit to get our lessons. We had to protect our lessons with our life. We show our lessons to just anybody. We examined before we gave them what? Lessons. I came in the nation at that time when there was doctors, ministers, nurses, and cremators. Y'all know what the duty of the cremator was? No, to burn anybody's ass that wasn't actually attacked. Okay. That's the duty of the cremator. Alright? You take them lessons say one thing, but those lessons are questions that was answered by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Allah gave us supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet so that we could answer those questions for our own what? Self. If it don't apply, let it fly. Huh? If it don't have nothing to do with you, let it go. Father was wise enough to take skunk out of the lesson because brothers going to school and instead of sitting down and getting an education, they want to call their teacher a skunk. That's disrespect. The first degree and the one of 40. When I got it, it said the Holy Quran or Bible was made by the original man, who is Allah. You know what it's saying now? Huh?
With the supreme being black man lady.
No. People. No. Who made the Holy Quran or Bible? How long ago? When you tell us why does Islam renew its history every 25,000 years? The Holy Quran or Bible was made by the original people, who is Allah. Huh? Know what that showed me? That Allah didn't just take that for his what? Self. Because he was the original man. He came by himself. But he multiplied himself on through the people. It doesn't say just black people. It says people.
Like the human families.
There you go. You know? Each one teach one. But you got to teach your own before you teach what? Somebody else. That's the wisest thing to do. Surely if you have a son or a daughter, you would teach them before you go out in the streets to teach somebody else. First ones I tried to give it to, they rejected me. The first ones I tried to give it to was my family. My mama and my dad. My mama was a devout Christian. I hit her with the Bible. And I asked her why she giving my daddy's called her money to another man. And when she said, I ain't never did that. You know what I told her? You do it every Sunday. Truth is simple. So simple that it made you see. These are just different things. I'm jumping all around. You know? Different things. You know? But at the same token, I'm going from knowledge to born. But from born back to knowledge. And why do I say but? They say after but come what? Say the here truth. You know? But I got a lesson that starts with what? It say what make rain here throw an earthquake, but bring rain here throw an earthquake. Huh? You understand? I don't even know if I could quote 120 degrees. Right and exact. That's not quoting so long ago. You know? But again, you can teach a parrot how to quote 120 degrees. That mean that parrot is already further to go? Nope. So what am I saying? There's more than a quotation of lessons. The greatest thing in the universe is under what? Standing. They say overstanding now in some teaching. How the hell can you overstand something? That man is at last, he could hold up the weight of the planet Earth. That's heavy. That's heavy. 616 tons, and you followed by 21 saviors? Huh? That's 21 things that you got to go through. Huh? Why they say you're a man at age 21? Are you wise enough to put the one back in front of the two? Elijah didn't do it. Elijah taught wisdom and knowledge, understanding. You know? But how did it come to him? It say that the devil could not be reformed unless he be what? Grafted back. It came back from the understanding seed to the wisdom seed to the knowledge seed. The knowledge feed itself. You see, the knowledge was the star that existed within the star present on Elijah's trial.
So like that.
5 and 2 is what? 7 is God. Did y'all see that? Huh? I said the star was the law on Elijah's crown. Huh? But it was the what? Wisdom on Elijah's crown too. What was the wisdom? Huh?
The moon.
Oh, you could say that.
The woman.
You could say that too. But I mean, come from someplace
Supreme
else.
wisdom.
There you go. It was a little more than the 17 million. That's how the knowledge got born. Who was a little more than the 17 million? Indians. The Indians are original people.
No.
A little 17 million.
Who was a little more than the 17 million?
The original Muslims in the wilderness of North America.
That's a baby mentality. We dealing on a supreme level. Who was a little more than the 17 million? There was 17 million original people, right? Who was a little more than them? Not just a little more than them. That represented the wisdom that added on to the power. Now, have we already agreed that the power is the arm, leg, arm, and hand? Huh? That's a law? So now, who is the wisdom added on to what? The arm, leg, arm, and head. That born God. It's easy, God. Listen. We wore the star and crescent. We wore the star and crescent before we wore the 8-point flag. We wore the star and crescent. I think for something like from 64 to 67 or 68. 3 or 4 years. We wore the star and crescent. Did y'all know that? So there's more to be revealed then, right? The wisdom brought it back to the knowledge. Allah was in temple number 7. Not temple number 8, not temple number 2, not temple number 1, but temple number 7. What is a temple?
You don't see none to take the national forward?
Place of worship.
Huh?
Place of worship.
No, that's a mosque. That's a mosque.
Now,
Hey!
will you tell the sister how to get over there so I can get to her? Speak to the sister. She's in Charlotte on 85. I don't know none over here so I can
Where you
leave.
store your Jews?
Excuse me. Where you at?
Isn't that where you store your Jews? Huh? Isn't that where you store your Jews?
The temple?
Yeah.
True. Like Prince say, okay, yeah, like Prince say, the thieves in the temple tonight.
So would that have anything to do with the seventh dimension? Which is the dimension of consciousness? Consciousness meaning awareness, meaning enlightenment, meaning the cream that rises to the top. Because the knowledge came out with the understanding. And they gave the understanding to the best part. When I went into school, I seen the Lord saying, "Here come the judge. Here come the judge, y'all." You know what you're talking about? The little baby. Little baby, wandering in. Walking into school. They also got a picture of the little baby standing up at the parliament. Manifesting on top of Mount Barnes. All these things I did not know at that day and time was making what? History. I just lived to what? Witness it. So I bring it as I what? Seen it. That's all I can do. Whether you get it or not is on you. I do not accept the responsibility of saying I am held responsible for uncivilized man. I'm held responsible for the civilized. That's me. It is my job to remain civilized. I don't only teach through coming out my mouth. I teach through what I live out each and every day in each and every way. Through my ways and actions. They say actions speak louder than words. Now, what rule do I try to measure up to? Because there is a ruler, the 18th letter in the alphabet, my birthday. There is a ruler. What is my measuring stick? What is my 12 inches that I seek to measure up to? You got to ask yourself these questions. What manner of a man? Is it Malcolm X that I strive to measure up to? Is it Master Muhammad who I strive to measure up to? Is it Noble Drew Ali who I strive to measure up to? No. Excuse me? Self. No. I'm striving to measure up to somebody. Oh, Lord. There you go. There you go. I walk him, I talk him, I breathe him. We exchange one to another. I have a personal relationship with Allah. Relationship. Give off one to another. A ship leaders in water. So Allah is still giving me things what? Now. On the way down here for 12 hours. God was opening up, giving me. I didn't what? Some things I knew, some things were being born to me. Something born, something got to break. I had to what? Bear with me. Do you never get too old to what? Learn. So that tells me, Allah, being man, must have learned something through teaching us. We must have taught Allah something also. But I had Allah stand up at a parliament in 1968 and said, I did something that y'all could never do. I did something that y'all could never do. Told the whole parliament. Everybody wondered, what did we do that we could never do? Yeah, we would be just like Allah. What did you do that we could never do? Answer that question, please. What did Allah do that we could never do?
You ain't answer me. Bring us the knowledge.
Good answer, good answer. He taught us. That was the answer. He taught us. No? Again, these little jewels that I witnessed my own self. That got me to love God. But you see, when we was coming up, maybe about 10 or 20 guards lived in one house.
Yep.
Man had 3 cans of navy beans. Go through the 20. 1 bean pie. Everybody got some. You don't see that kind of equality no more. This is why it's necessary for us to come and bring these teachings back. Because these teachings wasn't just on paper. These teachings were things that we lived out. We loved one another. We lived together and we died together. As now I'll show them on them brothers that went back to the essence. I dare you to let them brothers turn over in their graves. A lot of them was turning over in their graves and a lot of them was cremated. But a lot of them wasn't cremated. What do you want when you leave here? Do you want to be cremated? Or do you want to be buried in the earth? Huh? These are things you have to start thinking about what? Now. Got a beautiful brother down here. A few beautiful brothers down here. That's our witness. You got jewels right down here. You better get up under them jewels while they're here. Because they ain't going to always be here. You know? Better get up under them. I'm talking about our God. Went through great trials and tribulations, but it's a very humble God. I'm talking about Lord Jess. That was a baby amongst them brothers, but watch them grow. Lord Jess has given me jewels. Why? Because he watched them grow before I became in the knowledge of self. Before I became wise. Ain't no big thing, no. Ain't no big thing. I can tell y'all, I carried the name of Allah for 5 years. Which I did. No joke. No bullshit. Whole lot of shit coming at me. Used to have to walk out of Parliament, bombing my way out of Parliament. Lady, you ain't my father. You say I was your father, I said I'm your father. Such was the trials and tribulations of God. Because you go through different changes. First you become a student enrolled. Then you become a 5%. Then you become maybe a blood brother or a son of the law. You know? Then you become God. Not necessarily in this order. Then you become Allah. Once you reach that point of being Allah,
Now, somebody at the door, man. Now, somebody at the door, man.
Peace, Black God. Let me say this before.